Okay? Our outcome is very, very simple. Yes, that's okay. So today we're going to talk about the wellness profiles. The wellness and primarily the full wellness profiles. So I want to start off with the objective. Write it down. Everybody should understand we've got to start with the end in mind. Okay? Start with the end in mind. That means when the people are being handed an invitation, that's the start. Okay? That's the start of the potential relationship. So what's the end mind? Number one objective, the absolute number one objective in the nutrition club is to do what? Write it down. To build long-term customers. Number one objective. So everything you do all day long, from the experience, from the flyer and inviting them with the invitation, to making them a shake, to getting their order, to doing the mini, to greeting them, everything is very simple. We're outcome focused. To get a long-term customer. Why? Because that's the whole nutrition club model. Okay? That's the pyramid. And that's the base of the pyramid that the whole foundation is set from. Okay? And that's a customer base. The second thing, write it down, is to build cash flow. That's your second outcome. One of the biggest reasons why small businesses, 98% of them are out of business within 5 years, is cash flow. They run out of cash. Their burn rate is more than their revenue coming in and their net, and so they go out of business. They end up back at their, what? JOBs, the very thing they're running from. Okay? The second thing, which is really critical, the second thing is to learn the skill set of how to facilitate a wellness profile so that you can do what? Teach your team how to do it. By first, tell, show, try, do, right? You tell them, then you show them, then they try it, then they're doing it. Why is that important? Because if you can't teach your team, then your team is not going to be able to do the wellness profile, which means what? They're not going to be able to do and build a long-term customer base, which is the whole foundation of the nutrition club. And number two is that they're not going to be able to have cash flow. And without cash flow, they're not going to be able to stay in business. And if they can't stay in business, because they don't have the cash flow, they're then what?
Bye.
They're out of business. And if everyone in your group is out of business, guess what happens to you eventually?
Bye.
Out of business. Okay? Very critical. So it's important that you learn the skill set so you can teach your people so they can develop cash flow. Okay? And the last objective, very, very important, guys. The last objective is to build a pool of people from your consumer group that you're going to recruit into what? Duplicating what you're doing. So if we repeat the 4 simple objectives and why to do the wellness profiles, what's number 1? Long-term customers. Number 2, cash flow. Number 3, skill set for your team. And number 4, build a pool of consumers to pull from to build your distributor base. Okay, everybody got it? Any questions on that? Okay, so what's really important, guys, is that everything we do, soup to nuts, in these 4 walls, starting from when we have the invitation, is starting with the end in mind. Those 4 simple objectives. Okay? So, it starts with the mini, right? The simple objective is we get them in here, we do the mini. Okay, even today I had Mary's person in here who's a doctor, chiropractic doctor. I said, what's your protein number? She goes, you know what? I don't even know my own protein number. Because I need to know. And she has good health, but she promotes optimum health, and she realizes there's a delta between where she is and where she wants to go. And she recognized that. So she's going to start doing this out of her practice. Okay? So, it's important that, again, that's, Mary's got her on the product. We're building, again, a customer base so that now she's a customer, then she signed her up, and now she's been a customer for how long? 6 months. In 6 months, she's curing like beef, okay? And now she's going to convert into looking into, or not looking, they're going to do the business, okay? This is part of the product. Remember, I came for the product. Who else here came for the product first? Mary for the product. Bree, you guys for the product. Right? Anybody else? For the product. I don't know your name. Amina. Hi, Amina. How are you? Okay. Quinn for the product. Okay. So this is really, really critical. Okay. So when we do the minis, the first thing we want to do, guys, is we want to do what? We're thinking about the 4 objectives, right? Thinking about the 4 objectives. And then from there, what's the execution of it? 1, write it down. Okay. Is build rapport. Build rapport. So the people feel, hey, this is a safe, legitimate place, and the people are nice. Because at worst case scenario, people come back to places that they have nice experiences, right? And if they have a bad experience, what do?
Not come back.
Not only do they not come, but they also tell other people not to come either. Okay? That's why everybody, when people walk in, this has got to be the happiest place on the planet, so that they'll want to bring other people to this happy place. Okay? So, rapport. Number 2, guys, when you're doing the mini, the objective, write it down, the simple objective. Okay? From there, building rapport is to give them information. Give them information and educate them that they would not normally have. Just like I talked with the other side of the half of the equation, this doctor was her husband, who's also a chiropractor, and to give him, he didn't know how much lean muscle he had. He didn't know his protein number. He didn't know what his body fat was. She was very, 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 very interested in finding out her husband's body fat, by the way. Okay? So, really important is inform them. So worst case, on a grassroots basis, we're going to impact geographically this area in Costa Mesa and inform people about the composition and the importance of understanding their body, okay, and what their body's made of. The first thing that your body's made of in regards to the most amount of weight that is comprised of your body weight, number 1 is what? Lean muscle. Lean muscle. Number 2 is water. Number 3 is bone. In that order, write it down. Muscle, water, bone. Most people don't know those numbers. All critical to have wellness. Okay? So, next objective is to get them information, grassroots basics. 3rd objective, okay? Write it down. 3rd objective is to get them to see the value of coming in for a full wellness profile. Very simple. So as you're speaking to people, you got to be thinking one thing. Book the wellness profile. Why do we want to book the wellness profile? For those 4 things, right? Right? Long-term customer, cash flow, skill set, and a pool of people to recruit from. Okay? Always we got to be thinking in the back. That's our objective. Okay? So, we want to book the wellness profile. And you guys, it's like anything else. Write it down. It's called a promotion. Promotion. And Mark gave us a working definition. Mark Hughes, the founder of the company. Just started to keep it going. Part 2.
Hold on, you don't have it?
No.
There's too much on there. Hold on, I have to list something.
Okay, so he's got part 2. So you got, okay, so the next part is promotion. What is the definition that Mark has given us for a promotion? A promotion is what? Who remembers? Say it loud, say it loud, that's it.
Get someone to do that which they normally do not do.
That's right. To get somebody, write it down, guys. A promotion gets somebody to do something that they would normally not do. For example, when we work our model, what's the very first promotion that we expose the consumer to? The free smoke.